Hey, Dave Knight here at 123daytrade.com. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. You're looking at the 1 minute chart here on the CTS platform, and obviously most, I would say every trading platform that I've ever seen along the way has a 1 minute chart. We're going to revisit the Gann fourth time through today. This is one of the most uh, heavily traded patterns that I trade in any given month, year, you name it. It's that strong of a signal. And I want to go through how I view it and how perhaps you can look at it as well, coming up through, and we're going to apply it to the 1 minute chart. And I want to put this into one of my all-time favorite series that I have on here at YouTube called the Futures Trading Tips, I believe I called it. I'm going to read. So this is the Gann fourth time through revisited. So William Delbert Gann talked about this in his works when he was in the early 1900s, late 1900s, somewhere around anyway. So 1910s, 1940s, 50s, whenever he was alive and well, and I'm not exactly sure when he died, but what I'm getting at is that one of his all-time favorite things he talked about was what I interpreted as the Gann's fourth time through. You see it being translated out today. What we want to do is I want to bring out a trend line. You can see the drop that we're going to talk about. So in the Y, it was significantly a drop here. What I want to do is get that trend line out on the charts here the way I like to view it. And then we can kind of look at it and you can judge by yourself where do you think that time through is. So what I like to look at it, let me get the screen draw tool. I always like to use this one as the number 1 spot. You can see the number 2, and it depends upon how you're looking at this. Could have been 3. I doubt I would have looked at it for 3 because we really didn't come back up and through that trend line support area. This here is the 3 spot. So a lot of it is the eye of the beholder sometimes. So you could have attempted here and then exited, but most likely the best trade setup that was set into motion was because we were coming up here. Now, where this is saying pivot point, yesterday's trading, this was the S1 line, where you see this up here, and this resistance becomes support, support becomes resistance, and all that happy stuff that goes with that. You can also translate that out by looking at a higher time frame, right? So here's your 10-minute chart, and there's nothing really on here except pivot points, settlement, and some candlesticks here. So if you look at this finds strength in other charts that are telling you basically the same thing. So here we are going up through resistance, right? This was the first time we broke through. Go up, we went through, we came back through, we went back down, back up, back down, back up, and then finally we went down. I mean, there's a whole bunch of times that this resistance becomes support becomes resistance, resistance comes support, and you can see that this is the textbook case that I like to talk about. I wouldn't call it, well, yeah, it's basically like a textbook case with the Gann fourth time through. Get that off the screen here. So here is the setup, and this is a beautiful setup the way that I like to look at it and how I like to draw it out. If you've watched any of my videos, you know what I'm getting ready to show you here, right? So we have this move up through here, right? That's not exactly accurate. Let me get that off of there and try again. So let's just use the trend line. We use the trend line for this. So here's your 1, here's your 2, here's 3. Look how many times we crossed over this line, right? So this starts the movement itself back here. This is the initial down thrust, and then you see it thrusting through that point, making what you call the line of support and resistance coming through this. So as it was coming back to here, you can see that I had some trades on today and I made a little bit of money on it. It did come back and run me out, and I missed some of this move, but that's not the point. The point is this was the down move. And where can you judge that down move perhaps to go to, right? We draw this triangle on my charts an awful lot if you've watched me over the years. Here's your triangle, right? Coming through here. And there's your point of contact coming through here. There's your beautiful setup right there. So there's your Gann fourth time through as I look at it, right? Now, if it had any power, it would have continued to move down through here. This was coming to the 130 mark on the trading day, though. So most of the movement in the crude oil market is over at this point. But this is a very, very powerful setup when you can find it and when you see it, especially when you can confirm it on higher time frames, and then you find an area of the resistance in this case, or support if you're going looking at the other way. But you find a past area of resistance, right? And you see the movement going through here. Now it could have went up a little bit higher and broke this resistance and still been inside the Gann fourth time through. So don't think that just because this held, that it could have went up a little bit further. So in other words, it could have decided to get the screen draw tool going again. It could have decided to come up through here a little bit more and still held in and then went back down. This would have been within the standard deviation of saying, hey, it's close enough to be able to hold that line for that triangle, right? So here's your triangle. This is what Gann talked about. There's your target point, and if it had any power, it could have kept on moving down. All right? So in a nutshell, the Gann signal, you're looking for 3 crosses supporting, and then you look for the breakdown, and you can look at it in any time frame pretty much. This is the 1 minute time frame that you can pull your 1 minute chart out to even today in the crude oil futures market and see this movement, how you could have used this movement. And this movement here was worth about 80 ticks roughly, so about $800 per contract if you had to caught high to low. So that maybe 70. Let's air it to 70. About 100, and that's 700 roughly. An easy trade would have been able to pull 50 out of it. I wish I would have. I got knocked out just a little bit because I got a little bit too close to the market. I had 2 contracts on up here. I'm just started the funded account, and I'm trying to build up some equity in my futures account before I risk a little bit more. But I did end up making a positive day. I wished I would have caught a lot more of this. This could have easily been a $500 winner per contract if you would have been able to hold on to the trade itself. All right. This is Dave Knight here from 123daytrade.com. Thank you for watching today. Thank you for being here. This will be in my futures tips series called Gann's fourth time through. See you in the next video I put together. Bye for now.